we go. Alright, what is this caught on? Alright, I clicked stream before I was actually ready for everything. So give me just a second. There we go. Move my setup back to where it's viable. Give the sound of everything coming together like that. Aye. Alright, so welcome to... Oh, I just unplugged my headphones. Hold on. Jesus Christ. And then I muted my mic for a second, trying to plug my headphones back in. Oh boy, isn't this exciting? So, there we go. Anyone who's watched my channel for even the shortest amount of time can probably tell you I fucking love Dark Souls. And anyone who fucking loves Dark Souls the way I do will probably like Hollow Knight for a lot of the same reasons. Because looking to save time moderating comments now, you can hold potentially inappropriate. I got a gigantic bowl of rice, just like yesterday, except today it's even bigger. It's got even more soy sauce because I could drink soy sauce. Give me that salty liquid. Don't take that sound clip out of context. So anyway, we're starting Hollow Knight. I have been playing this game a lot in my spare time because I fucking love this game. But we're gonna start a new game. I will not be throwing you into the deep end. Hi, cat. In the wilds beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret. For none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under palest watch you taught we changed, base instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast, as they had never dreamed. From Elegy for Hallownest by Monomon the Teacher. Now, some of you may be thinking, you mentioned, Mr. Mustikalan, you mentioned that if you like Dark Souls, you'll probably like this game. Why do you say that? Well, the reason I say that, I got way too fucking used to all my upgrades and my other save. The reason I say that is because, okay, if you like Dark Souls for the same reason I like Dark Souls, which is the way it tells its story. Which I know that aspect of my liking of Dark Souls does not come across at all in my Dark Souls streams, because I kind of just barrel through the game all willy-nilly and haphazard. What's that here? But, like, the thing I appreciate most about Dark Souls is its cryptic, weird storytelling, which I maintain is mostly a metaphor. It's mostly metaphorical storytelling and not literal storytelling. There we go. And as such, Dark Souls leaves a whole lot to be interpreted. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul, and you shall achieve feats of which others can only dream. Collect soul by striking enemies. Once enough soul is collected, hold B to focus soul and heal. Which, that is going to be used a lot. Is this where I need to go? Oh, shit. So, spikes don't kill you. This is a... Now, I have a bit of a tangent to go on. I may have gone on this tangent before, but it bears repeating. So we'll bring it up again. Fuck. I do not think the term Metroidvania is helpful. I mean, it kind of is, because if you tell someone, oh, well, this game's a Metroidvania, they kind of get an idea of what it's about, of what kind of things they'll be doing throughout the game. They'll be getting upgrades that allow them to traverse new areas. It'll be this whole expansive world where new abilities unlock new areas if you go back to the old places you have been. And yeah, I can see why I can see how that by itself can be helpful. But like, there's a surprising room for breadth in just such a premise. Alright. God damn it. Hey. And certain games lead more towards Metroid, gameplay-wise. And some games lead more towards Symphony of the Night, gameplay-wise, in that you level up and you get new equipment. Whereas a Metroid, you just kind of upgrade the things you have. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Beyond this point, you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws. Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the Eternal Kingdom. Hallownest. Spooky. I fucking love it. This stream may end up being short because I am kind of tired tonight. I intended on streaming way earlier today. That didn't end up happening, obviously. For reasons unknown to myself. I intended on streaming and then I just kind of didn't. Ooh, Dirtmouth. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's supposed to be Dirtmouth.
No. Turobis.
Oh, hello there, traveler. I'm afraid there's only me left to offer. Can I help you, cat? Can you fucking stop that? Thank you. I'm afraid there's only me left off. Welcome. Our town's fallen quiet, you see. The other residents, they've all disappeared. Headed down that well, one by one, into the caverns below. Used to be there was a great kingdom beneath our town. It long fell to ruin, yet it still draws folks into its depths. Wealth, glory, enlightenment, that darkness seems to provide all things. I'm sure you too seek your dreams down there. Well, watch out. It's a sickly air that fills the place. Creatures turn mad and travelers are robbed of their memories. Perhaps dreams aren't such great things after all. I yawned in that last sentence, and I bet you couldn't even tell. For all your mapping supplies, we will be opening soon to Zelda and Cornifer. Now we could go straight into it, or we could go back over to here and check this out. But it's locked. I will suck this game's dick all day long. I love how it teaches you through showing you things. Like, it doesn't just say, oh, well, these are doors that can be broken down, so why don't you go ahead and hit them? It's like, oh, well, this door, this little entryway here looks a little different from the rest of the environment. I wonder, and then you hit it, and it opens. And then you come to the bigger door, and you hit that one, and it's like, oh, well, that's fucking cool. It sets a precedent that if you see something like that, you can just knock it the fuck open. Ah, shit. So my initial plans for tonight's stream, I wanted to stream. God damn, I'm just bad at this. I wanted to stream XCOM 2, but then I remembered that there is a rather extensive DLC from what I've heard. And I wanted to hold off. Oh, let's talk to Cornifer here.
おう、ダンチャツだ。
Hello there. Come down to explore these beautiful old ruins? Don't mind me. I have a fondness for exploring myself. Getting lost and finding your way again is a pleasure like no other. We're exquisitely lucky, you and I. I'm a cartographer by trade, and I'm working on mapping this area right now. Would you like to buy a copy of my work so far? Purchase a map of the area for 35. Acquired map.
Choco, correct this.
A map can be a useful thing, but it alone won't show you where you are. If you've not the head for directions, I suggest purchasing a compass from my wife, Iselda. She's just now opening a new map shop in Dirtmouth, selling all sorts of useful things to wanderers like yourself. She'll even sell some of my old maps from time to time. I pop back to see her whenever I finish mapping an area. She's always so excited to see me. When he says she'll sell some of his old maps, what that means for you, the player, is let's say you go through an area and you beat a boss or whatever, and you miss your opportunity to buy your map from Cornifer. Oh shit, what do you do then? Well, have no fear. You can go to Dirtmouth and buy that map. Can I fucking help you? Again, they only act up when I start streaming. Or otherwise talking to people. But anyway, you can buy old maps from him. Or from his wife. Now, I'd say this game doesn't, like, okay, most Metroidvania games kind of fall under one umbrella or the other. Like, it's just kind of how it is. If you're making a quote-unquote Metroidvania game, it's either going to take more inspiration from Metroid or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But Hollow Knight kind of doesn't do either. Like, it does both, but it also does neither. You get upgrades, you get neat little power-up things that let you do new things. You can upgrade your sword, you can upgrade how much health you have, you can upgrade how much soul you can have. All that. But you don't level up. You don't really change equipment, except for your... What the fuck does the game call them?
Bafanada.
Bafanada. Come to buy a map, have you? It's really my husband you should be dealing with, but what a surprise! He's headed down below. He'll pop back occasionally to deliver new maps for the store, but I do wish he'd spend a little more time up here. I've not much interest in retail myself. Now, let's see what's here for me to sell. Wayward Compass, which costs more than I have. And then the Quill, which also costs more than I have. So, it's got upgrades instead of equipment. Kind of like Metroid, rather than Castlevania. It's... how do I word this? It's more fantasy-based, which I guess I can't in good consciousness, I can't in good conscience say that leans it more towards Castlevania. Yes, Castlevania is more fantasy-based, obviously. I mean, you can call... Sorry, I thought I heard weird noises. It's the night before the 4th of July, so there's a lot of fireworks going on, and that's probably what's freaking the cats out. God. Jeez. Again, this stream's probably gonna run short because I am rather tired. But I didn't want to go without streaming, so I decided I would stream anyway. Because I like streaming, and I think, honestly, I would like for my channel to grow at least a little bit. Oh, damn it. Alright, so this little fellow up here, he is important, but I cannot get to him at the moment. Like, see, I try, and it just does not work. Come through here. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get on the floor and jam. The down slash is your... God fucking damn it. The down slash is one of your most important tools here. Because lots of things in game can attack from above you, but very few things can attack from below you. So there's gonna be a lot of enemies that are a lot easier, really. There's gonna be a lot of enemies in the game that are a lot easier if you can get above them and like get them in a down slash, get them in a down slash loop. What was it? Oh, that's right. I was talking about where this falls on the Metroidvania spectrum. Narrative-wise, I'd say it falls somewhere completely off of the spectrum. With neither Metroid... I think the later Igavania Castlevania games... I think the later Igavania Castlevania games did focus at least a little bit more on plot. But, like, all the good Metroid games don't really focus on plot that well, or that much. If you want to take that as a jab against Metroid Fusion, I won't stop you. You can have that opinion if you want. All right. Temple of the Black Egg. Oh shit. Hello there. How delightful to meet another traveler on these forgotten roads. You're a short one, but you've a strong look about you. I'm Quirrell. I have something of an obsession with uncharted places. This ancient kingdom holds many fascinating mysteries. One of the most intriguing of them is standing right before us. A great stone egg, lying in the corpse of an ancient kingdom. And this egg, is it warm? It certainly gives off a unique air. Can it be opened? There's strange marks all over it. I do so love a mystery. And who knows what other marvels lie even deeper below us. I don't know why everyone is like a half-assed Aussie. I don't know. This game was made by like 3 Australian dudes, so I guess subconsciously I'm pulling from that knowledge for Iselda and Quirrell's voice. And boys and girls, do not worry. We have not spoke. We will speak. Blah, 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 blah. We will indeed speak to both Quirrell and Iselda again, so you can have my crack at a again. You can have my half-assed crack in an Aussie accent all over again. Let's see. I guess part of what separates the Metroid influence from the Castlevania influence is like both of them are pretty like okay. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that like Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid are such fundamentally different games that mashing the two names together isn't helpful, because like it is helpful. I don't think. I guess my point is, I feel like when people talk about a game, 21 minutes, hell yeah. Hey, Red Arts! Glad you made it. But, what the fuck was I talking about? Like, okay, the term Metroidvania, yeah, it is kind of useful, but like, I don't know, you can only get so much use out of the term, because, like, yes, using my previous 2 examples, which I think are the best examples, Super Metroid versus Castlevania Symphony of the Night, they are similar. I will grant absolutely anybody that. Oh, my cats are running around being assholes. Alright, so this guy, the first time I played this game, this guy freaked the hell out of me. Because you walk into a room, you hear crying, it's I don't know. It triggers something deep inside of me. Probably back to when I used to play Left 4 Dead. And the witches, like you'd hear them crying before you ever saw them. But then they'd go psycho and maul your ass. And that's probably why, I don't know. That probably says a lot more. It probably says a lot more about me than anything else. That, like, if I walk into a room and I hear someone crying and I cannot immediately see where they are, it freaks me out. It probably says a lot about me, come to think of it. But anyway, that guy, so earlier I came across a grub under a glass jar. If I had been able to get to that grub and strike and break the glass jar open, the grub would run away, and then he would resurface in the room we were just in with the mustache grub. And he would reward us with Geo, which is what the currency is called. Alright. Charms! That's what the fuck they're called. They're called charms! The things you equip that give you like different ability, that give you different things and whatnot. Shit. I always get too eager with that fucking, the down slash. What kitties? They're playing and they're being obnoxious. I mean, I guess I can't complain too much because they are a lot friendlier than they used to be with each other. I mean, Bagheera has always been friendly to me. That cat loves me. Isn't that right, kitty cat? Where the hell are you? You know what? Yeah, whatever. Sadly lost most of the playthrough. That sucks. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about your own playthrough in Hollow Knight? That's right, I don't have the compass, so bringing up the map does me much less good than I would like. Fuck me! No, my stream. This stream? Right now? Because I'm only like 20 minutes in. I'm only 20 minutes into the game, and that's really not a lot. God damn! Oh, jeez. Just because it sounds very loud to me, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the volume down. 20 minutes is too much. I mean, for this game, like, really the only thing I've accomplished is I've gotten a map. Yeah, got our first grub. Like I said, for this game, 20 minutes is fucking nothing. So, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I am only just dipping my toe into this game. Cause I have another playthrough on this game. At the very beginning you could see my save file and I was decently far in. I don't know if it kept track of my time though. Alright, 107. I honestly don't know. Oh, I know what I'm working towards. Okay. Gotta get some of this money. Man, it's a wonder how Hollow Nest, not Hollow Nest, excuse me. It's kind of a wonder how Hollow Nest had any kind of economy if you could just hit rocks and get money. Like, being as far into the game and having looked into as many spoilers as I have, because I don't hold spoilers sacred. I know a lot of people get real pissed off if you spoil something for them. I don't. I generally don't mind things being spoiled for me. Like, when I went to see Infinity War, I knew entirely too much about that movie before I went to see that movie. And I still definitely enjoyed the movie. And I mean, if someone doesn't want something spoiled for them, then I certainly will respect that. If I'm able to keep my fucking mouth shut. Sometimes I'm not able to keep my fucking mouth shut. But if someone doesn't want something spoiled, then I'll say I'm okay if I get spoiled. This game I definitely recommend. Brazil isn't going to win the World Cup. Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. I forgot about this. I don't follow sports, to be completely honest with you. And like, the closest I ever came to caring about sports, even though it made top 4. Huh. But the closest I ever came to caring about sports was when I was in France. And me and my little tourist group, well, we were students. I was there on a school trip with my French class. I do not remember a fucking word of French. I think I know just enough French to say I don't know French. But we were there, and we were at a restaurant. Me and my little student group were at a restaurant. and the restaurant had a TV out in front. And I don't think it was the World Cup. I don't think the soccer game on the TV was the World Cup. But there's a soccer game on this little TV that was in the window. So, like, if you were out on the street looking at this restaurant, you would see the TV. And it was a big fucking TV, too. Had to have been pretty expensive. But you could, they had some soccer game on, and like I said, I don't think it was the World Cup, because I think we would have been fucking trampled if it had been the World Cup. But it was around this time of year, so it might have been the World Cup. I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep up with it. But that day, seeing all those French people gathered in the street to watch this soccer game, and everyone gets so into it. I don't even think it was France playing. It was Ukraine and, fuck, I don't remember who else. Might have been, I don't know. But it was Ukraine and someone else playing. It wasn't even France. That's all I know. It was Ukraine and not France. And, I don't know, just seeing how into it they got. It almost got me roped into. That's the World Cup for sure. Okay. Then I guess it was the World Cup. But like I said, I just kind of figured that if it had, like, in my head at the time, I was like, if this is the World Cup, then wouldn't there be more people here? But whatever. Yeah, there were people gathered around there. Yeah, there were people gathered around in the street watching this TV. With, I guess it was the World Cup. Now that you mention it, toll machine with the symbol of a stag. Insert geo. Yes. I don't know. It was a powerful moment for me, and it was almost enough to get me into sport. It was almost enough to get me to care about sports, almost, but certainly not quite. Greetings, little one. It's been an age since I last heard the ringing of a station bell. It echoed down the stagways and called me to you. I've grown stiff and tired over these many years, and I've forgotten much. But the sound of the bell will always call me back. These stagways stretch the depths of Hallownest. If you want to travel them, hail me from the platform. I will take you where you need to go. Soccer is hype. Yeah, that's something I've noticed. Soccer, or I guess as everyone in the universe but Americans and Canadians call it, football. I guess I've noticed, that's the one thing I've noticed, is that, like, if there's one thing most of the rest of the world can agree on, it's that soccer is hype. That is absolutely something I've noticed. I gotta open this fucking door. Alright, we're back in Dirtmouth. I never thought I'd see such a thing. The Stag Station is opened. That building lay silent since before even my time. Oh, I've heard the tales of the glorious lines, a web of tunnels running all through the kingdom. Not that I'll be traveling them, mind you. I'm quite content where I am. The Elderbug is cool. The Elderbug is one of my favorite characters. So, one of the things regarding this game is the Stagway. Which I think... Yeah, no, I still don't have enough for the compass. Darn it. Japan soccer history is amazing too. They got better at it thanks to Captain Tsubasa, an old soccer anime. You know, anime... Oh my god. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. Like I said, I seem to have noticed that if there's one thing most of the rest of the world can agree on, it's that soccer is fucking hype. And then here we are in America, and like, yeah, some people care about it, but not quite enough. Not quite nearly enough. to even be comparable with how much other countries care. Alright, I have two options here. I could wait till I have the compass. Let's see. I got a couple options, other than just waiting till I have the compass. There's a boss, or god fucking damn it, I didn't jump. There we go. Wait, I feel like I completely lost my point regarding what I was talking about earlier. Oh. Okay, I know what I was talking about. I remember what I was talking about now. So, you have... So this is... Okay, so Hollow Knight draws from a long tradition of games. I don't really think that's up for debate. Metroidvanias have been a thing for a while. You could argue that the Metroidvania genre has been around since, well, Metroid in 1986. Okay, I can't get through here yet. But, like, I kind of feel like... Oh, jeez. I kind of feel like Metroidvania, quote-unquote, wasn't solidified. Oh, yeah, they may got a remake. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I love the idea. I've always loved the idea of media affecting things outside of media. Like the fact that that Victor Hugo's Hunchback of Notre Dame pretty much saved the Notre Dame Cathedral because at the time that story came out, which I believe now, correct me if I'm wrong. It's very possible I could be wrong, and it's very important it's very important I'm corrected if I am wrong. Because I like to be right, and I can't be right if I'm not corrected, but I'm wrong. Okay, I can't get up there. Fuck. I believe Victor Hugo wrote Hunchback of Notre Dame around the time of the French Revolution. And the men and women of the French Revolution were not terrifically appreciative of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. There were famously a couple rows of statues near the entrance. And these statues were meant to represent the kings of Israel, as talked about in the Bible. But the revolutionaries got the... God fucking damn, I'm bad at this. But the revolutionaries got the idea that the king statues in the... Okay, I thought I had that one. Always jump, even if you think you got it without jumping. Gotcha. That's the lesson I'm taking away from this experience. So, anyway, one example of how the revolutionaries did not appreciate the Notre Dame Cathedral. I think we're about to witness the death mechanic here. Nope, not yet. The revolutionaries got the idea in their head that the king statues towards the entrance of the cathedral were the kings of France. Which, of course, if you know much of anything about the French Revolution, you know that the revolutionaries were not big fans of the monarchy. They wanted change, and they wanted it right fucking now. They wanted it yesterday. So, it's... The Notre Dame Cathedral was in rough shape. Both physically, because it was falling apart from all the abuse it had gotten in recent times. And also just kind of neglect. Because up until Victor Hugo's time, it was just kind of a, oh yeah, it's the cathedral, whatever. I mean, when it was built, it was a marvel of engineering and architectural technology. The flying buttresses, all that, it really is, like, the Notre Dame Cathedral, It is something. It's really something, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate what it is because of its architectural coolness. We're running into where I would be because of my sleep, because of how my fucking sleep schedule's been. This is about where I'd be asleep. So I'm gonna run off on tangents a lot because I'm not at full capacity. But anyway, so the Notre Dame Cathedral was in pretty rough shape because A, it had been neglected for like a long fucking time, and B, the revolutionaries were beating up on it. And they were thinking of just kind of getting rid of it. But then Victor Hugo, he writes this story about how there's an ugly little man ringing the bell up in the top. And the people were like, "Aw, I like that." So they kind of stopped beating up on the cathedral. And that's a pretty major thing. But like going back to the example of Captain Tsubasa inspiring the Japanese soccer team to do better. Because like I love the idea of media influencing real, quote unquote, real life. And I put real life in quotes because Bafanada. And I put real life in quotes because like I kind of feel like equip a charm to activate its powerful qualities. To have equipped a charm, open the charms menu while resting at a bench. Which means we got this bench over here. To equip a charm, open the charms menu while resting at a bench, press the back button. Alright. And now, we see ourselves on the map! We're fucking Marco Polo over... We're fucking Marco Polo up in this bitch! Alright, so let's check where we are. We're a bit high for where I'm wanting to go, so let's see if we can go down. What's another example of media influencing real life? I don't know. Like I'm not in the right mindset to think of that. To think too much on that subject. Here's a not quite a homework assignment. But like here's a question I would absolutely love to get an answer for. Damn it. Here's a question I would absolutely love to get an answer for from everyone who watches this. Inflate my numbers. Leave a comment. People who are watching the archive later, Red Arts, since you're the only, I have to address you directly. Otherwise, it'd be weird because you're the only one in the chat at the moment. What is a story? Like a movie? God damn it. Well, we did see the death. Okay, so we're gonna see the death mechanic here soon. Oh, well, we just saw it. So the death mechanic in this game is sort of, yeah, it is pretty similar to Dark Souls. In that you die, you gotta go back to where you died, and you'll get all your shit back. But where this game differs from Dark Souls, or Bloodborne, or Demon Souls, or Neo, or whatever. Actually, no, it doesn't actually. I think this is what it has in common with Neo. When you go back to where you died to get your shit back, you have to fight a shadow. Which, fun fact, has a lot of plot significance. The fact that you leave things like that behind when you die has a lot of plot significance, actually, that we will get to later. But anyway, cool mechanic. It is a cool mechanic, and I'm always happy to see it pop up. As annoying as it is to have to go back to where you died to get your money back, I am usually glad to see it. Very rarely do I think it's poorly implemented. And even cooler is the idea of having to fight like a shadow of your former self. Oh shit. Shit! Yeah, buddy! Fuck you, you piece of shit. Oh, we already went through here. Okay. But anyway, back to my topic. My discussion topic, as it were. What is a piece of media? Like a book, a movie, comic book, video games especially, because this channel is very video game themed. But really anything. Anything can count. Books, movies, video games, even music. What's something that has changed? What's something that you feel has changed your life? And I, of course, being the egomaniac I am, I'm gonna go ahead and start with mine. So, I have a weird, bizarre, strange family history. And part of that family history has been a bit padded with half-truths and outright lies, I'll say. That's how I'm choosing to word it. No one actually involved is really going to listen to this. So, a lot of what I heard... Well, I was raised by my grandparents. Didn't know... I didn't know I was being raised by my grandparents until I was, like, 17. But after that point, a lot of what I'd heard... No, I was 15. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So, when I was about... when I was 15... I learned that my grandparents, who were raising me, were not, in fact, my biological parents. And they told me a lot of things about my actual mom, which would later turn out to either A, be entirely false, or B, be like a half-truth. Poems change the way to see the world in a certain way. Changed the way you see the world, or just like for other people? Cold guy before, now I'm sensitive. That's always a good change, I feel. I feel like it's kind of become a thing. It's kind of become a thing to be like insensitive, to not really care, to be a cold person. And I'm not saying that about just like men. I'm saying that about, like, people in general. I feel like it's become kind of a thing to not care. And, I feel like that's something that needs to... That's something that should go away as soon as possible, I think. I think the world's a better place if everyone cares. But, so, I was told a lot of things about my mom that were not pleasant. Like I said, later I would come to find out that these were either partially or completely fabricated. But at the time I believed them because I was 15. I didn't have any basis to not believe my grandparents. I was like, well, why would they all of a sudden lie to me? So I got this weird idea in my head that, like, well, if my biological mom is like not a good person, then it would kind of stand to reason. Then it would kind of stand to reason that, like, maybe I'm not such a great person, and it kind of spiraled into. I just kind of spiraled into, like, I hesitate to say depression because, like, depression's a clinical thing, but, like, it was pretty bad. I would come home from school. I'd keep up a facade for my friends and all that of still being, like, able to function, but the second I got home, I wasn't even doing my homework, really. I'd come home from school, and I'd just kind of go to bed. And this was about sophomore year in high school for me. I know a lot of people are freshmen in high school when they're 15, but I started kindergarten early. Pretty ignorant back then, and man, and so prideful. Tried to be right every time. I can absolutely relate. It's honestly something I still struggle with. Because like I joke all the time, I joke all the time. I don't know if I ever say some stuff like this on stream. So much of what I say on stream is like unfiltered that it gets kind of hard determining what I have said on stream and what I haven't. But anyway, so I kind of fell into a depression of like, I'd get home from school and I would go straight to bed, but I wouldn't sleep. I would just kind of lay there. And summer came around, and I started feeling, once the weather started turning warmer, I started feeling a bit better about things, and which is bizarre, because nowadays I'm kind of the exact opposite. I get like the summertime blues, where it's like, it's hot, I can't fucking do anything because it's so fucking hot. All of my friends live in a different city. But whatever. I'm not here to bitch about my life. That's not what I'm here for. But anyway, so when I was 15, so like in this time period when I was 15, and I was like just kind of not doing anything in my spare time. If I wasn't needed to do anything else, I would just lay in bed all day. And I eventually came to my senses and realized this was not fucking healthy. And when I was a youngin', okay. Yeah, I was about to fucking die again because I'm an idiot and I don't have timing down. Damn it, come here. But like when I was a youngin', I was pretty into Final Fantasy. I don't like talking about religion, but I could say that reading the Holy Bible and applying it to my personal life made me a mature guy. I can respect that. I can absolutely respect that. But, I kind of feel like the Bible falls in a very different... I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not religious, like, at all. And if I were to classify myself as religious, then the religion I would have to... by necessity, because of my own philosophy and how I think about things. If I were to, like, pin a religion onto myself, it would probably be Buddhism. But I'm not here to talk about religion. Talking about religion just opens a gigantic can of worms that very few people can stuff back in there. But anyway, I coming from a non-religious place, I feel like the Bible falls in a very different category from like what I'm talking about, because I'm talking about like I mean, yeah, the Bible is technically a book, but like culture has placed a very different emphasis on the Bible versus the emphasis that society has placed on, say, even classic books, even Shakespeare. Society has placed nowhere near the amount of the society and our culture. And I recognize that Brazilian culture and American culture are not the same thing. I do recognize that, like, immediately. Because, like, of course they're different. They're visibly different. It sounded like a race thing. That's not a race thing. Man, I'm stepping in every single pile of dog shit I possibly can with this tangent. And most sensible people would stop, but I don't know when to stop, so I'm not gonna. Like, there's Brazilian culture is different from American culture, but both Brazilian culture and American culture draw from, like, broader European culture in a lot of ways. And then, of course, each of them has their own, like, unique influences. But anyway, they still kind of both put a very heavy emphasis on the Bible. And so, the kind of message you're likely to walk away from after reading the Bible is a very different kind of message than what you're gonna get after reading War and Peace, for example. Or, to use a different example, Twilight. If you get the same kind of feeling, if you get the same kind of message from Twilight as you do from the Bible, then I really do not know how to respond to that. I don't know if I'm proud of you, I don't know if I'm happy for you, I don't know if I'm sad for you. But this is just a really long way of saying the Bible's different from what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking about, like, more, I guess, more contemporary, because the Bible's old as shit. And even works from, like, the 1800s would be more contemporary than the Bible. By a very, very wide margin. What, kitty cat? I'm talking... Back to my own personal story. Again, before I step in any more piles of dog shit. Before I open up any more cans of worms. So yeah, I was 15. I had learned that who I thought had been my parents the whole time, they weren't my parents at all. They were my grandparents. And I was told a lot of things about my mom. Overwhelmingly negative things about my mom. And as I said before, they were either A, completely fabricated, or B, they were lies based in truth, but only in the same way that you can say the movie Titanic is based on true events. In that, yeah, there is, like, a thing there, but to turn A into B, you really have to twist things in unnatural ways. But the main idea I got from what I was told is that my mom, my actual mother, was not a good person. That was the message I took away from the things I had been told. And that really seeped into, like, what I thought about myself. Yes, this is Hollow Knight. Hey, anyway, hi, Ryan. Welcome to Personal Story Time with Captain Mustakalan. So, like I said, I was 15, been told a few things about my mom. Almost none of it was actually, exactly none of it was positive. And it really seeped into what I thought of myself as a person. Because when you're 15, you don't quite... When you're 15, you're getting there, but you don't quite have a grasp of who you think you are. Like, you start getting a grasp of that kind of thing when you're, like, 12. But you absolutely don't have it when you're 15. But you're absolutely still not there. Jesus Christ. But you're absolutely still not there when you're 15. And, It really got to me. So, I was super depressed for a long time. And by a long time, I mean from about the middle of sophomore year to the summer between sophomore year and junior year of high school. Which, Red Arts, I wish I could translate. I wish I knew enough about the Brazilian school system to be able to tell you what exactly that entails. But basically from like, I don't know. But summer rolled around, and I still felt really shitty. but I was also really tired of feeling shitty. I'm too focused on telling my story and not focused enough on not fucking dying. And around this time was about when I started collecting older video games, which I continue to do for years after this. This is where that obsession started. Hearing Uncle Mustakalan's stories. So, around that time, about the summer rolled around, and I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm tired of feeling fucking sad. And I figured that, like, I just needed something, I just needed something to do with my time. Maybe if I had something fulfilling to do with my time, I would be able to take my mind off of it long enough and just get around my issue without having to deal with it further. Because when you're 15, you don't know... When you're 15, you just don't know how to handle your feelings. Anyone who has been 15 and is no longer 15 will agree to that statement. School system in Brazil is pretty generic. Alright. So, hopefully you understand. Hopefully you have, like, a decent... Jesus Christ, he does so much damage! Okay, there we go. And then he gave me enough soul. So everyone who is older than 15, which I'm going to assume is everyone here, make it to high school, pass through an exam, and you can do shit on a college. Alright. But yeah, so I started looking into older games, because I'd always been... Ever since I was a youngin', I've always loved the idea... I'd always been enamored by older games. Especially, like, PS1 era RPG... Especially, like, the PS1 era Final Fantasy games. Because I'd gotten into Final Fantasy VI through the Game Boy remake. And when I was like 12, I fell in love with that. No, younger, 11. When I was like 11, I fell in love with the GBA remake of Final Fantasy VI. And I don't know. As I got older, I started looking into Final Fantasy as a series, and I was like, man, it sure would be nice if it were ever possible for me to play these older games. But, like, it just kind of felt like it would be impossible for me to be able to go back and play, like, Final Fantasy IX, for example. But I digress. Do you remember the opera sequence? Yes! I do remember the opera sequence! Jesus Christ. And it has the best boss music in the game that is never ever used again throughout the rest of the game, which always disappointed me. But I understood, like, and when I was younger, it disappointed me, because I was like, oh man, that's such a cool boss theme. But as I got older, I was like, yeah, that's a fucking awesome boss theme, and it's better than the regular boss theme, but it would kind of ruin the meaning of using it here if they used it everywhere. But anyway. So I had gotten into Final Fantasy VI, I looked into Final Fantasy, and I was like, boy, sure would be neat if by some miracle I was able to play those older games. But when I was like 15, and I was 15, and I became aware, and I had always known, obviously, because it's really hard not to know. I'd always known about Amazon, but it had been brought to my attention that perhaps someone, somewhere, has one of those old Final Fantasy games Ultros is a great boss. I know he's an asshole through the game, but he's a cool guy. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Ultros is best octopus. He's a role model. I know I'm not an octopus, I'm a squid, but like they're related, it's close enough. Oh fuck, I forgot about the fucking shockwaves. Yeah, it was. But through that time, I kind of got reacquainted with Amazon, and I was like, oh, maybe I can find, son of a bitch, maybe I can find the old Final Fantasy games through here. So I looked into it, and I talked my grandparents into. I'm not an octopus, I'm a squid. I mean, they're not the same thing, Ryan. Come on. You know this to be true. So, I talked my grandmother into getting me Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, and Tales of the Abyss. Now, I know I was talking about Final Fantasy, and then I throw in another series in there. So it's like, excuse me? Where did this come from? Octo is 8. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. An octopus has 8 arms, a squid has 10. And with certain squid species, the suckers on those tentacles are barbed. Which is a real bitch. But anyway, I'd also gotten Tales of the Abyss. And that entered the picture because when I was younger, I came across Tales of Symphonia at GameStop on GameCube. Yeah. No, I don't know. No, I don't. I don't know nothing about the sea. Alright, so real quick marine biology lesson. So, squids and octopus fall under a category called cephalopods, which itself falls under a much broader category of invertebrates called mollusks. And mollusks include a lot of different things, from clams to snails to octopus. Cephalopods refers to most things in the sea that have tentacles. Octopus, squid, cuttlefish, and nautilus especially. These all fall under the category of cephalopod. Jellyfish, however, these jellyfish are not cephalopods. Jellyfish are something much, much, much different. Like, jellyfish are super different from cephalopods. Alright. Ah, fuck! Okay. This is getting ridiculous. I did not have this kind of trouble with him before. But, octopi have 8 arms and are able to change their color pretty much at will. They are incredibly amorphous. They're one of the octopus consist of some of the most intelligent creatures in the ocean. There's plenty of stories of aquariums whose octopi escape because they know how to short out their system, and so everything gets shut down and they're able to just walk out, because a lot of octopus species are able to survive out of water for a short time. As long as their skin stays wet, they're able to survive for at least a little bit. And they are surprisingly mobile with their tentacles. Squid, however, are nowhere near as intelligent as octopus, or octopi, or if you're a third grader, octopuses. Squid aren't quite as intelligent as octopi, but they are pretty intelligent, at least compared to fish. I really hate to say it, but there are no smart fish. Anyway, but the other two groups of cephalopods, or at least the other two major groups of cephalopods, are cuttlefish and nautilus, or nautili, or again, if you're a third grader, nautiluses. Which nautili are the ones with the shells. The cool spirally shell, those are nautilus. Fishes are brain dead. Yeah, there really aren't any smart fish. God damn it. There we go. Like, there really aren't any smart fish. If someone can point a smart fish to me, if someone can tell me about a smart fish, I would be very grateful. Because I would love to think that there are intelligent fish out there. But anyway, so squid are, I think they are more social than octopi, but less intelligent. That's my understanding. Again, I'm not a fucking marine biologist. I would love to be, but whatever. Then you have cuttlefish, which are... Cuttlefish are fucking adorable. Let me search on Deep Web. You gotta go on the Deep Web to find out if there are any smart fish. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, back to my personal story that I've taken half an hour to tell. Because all my stories are long and drawn out because I keep getting distracted. I'm not blaming anyone for that. I'm just saying that if anything, I'm saying I distract myself. So I'm 15, I'm depressed because I think my mom's not a good person. And because I think my mom's not a good person, I think I'm not a good person as a direct result. So I fall into like a depression. Goldfish are surprisingly smart. I know you can teach a goldfish tricks, but like, I don't feel like they show the same kind of intelligence as like an octopus does. So I'm 15, I fall into a depression because I think my mom's a piece of shit, and as a result, I think I'm a piece of shit. And I start looking into older games, because I think maybe what I really need is just something sufficient to take my mind off the whole ordeal. And so I end up getting into Final Fantasy IX. And I go through most of Final Fantasy IX, and I'm like, okay, I really like all the characters. I really like all the music. I think it's just the tits. What? Hold on. Alright. Sorry about that. I was not expecting interruptions. Define that type of intelligence. They have mental recollection and internal mapping systems. I mean, birds have that. What I mean when I compare goldfish to like an octopus is the ability to figure things out rather than just memorize things. Because, like, birds can figure out where the hell they are. I would say that a goldfish is smart for a fish, but most likely not smarter than an octopus. I mean, I think it's important. I think if we're gonna, I do agree that I think it's important to define what I mean by intelligence if I'm gonna compare the intelligence of two separate creatures. There we go. Fucking... come on. So, Final Fantasy IX. Goldfish can problem solve too. Alright, that's cool. I didn't know that. I guess we have our... I guess almost as soon as I pose the question, we have our smart fish. So, in Final Fantasy IX, major spoilers for the game, because what I'm about to talk about happens, like, towards the end. Final Fantasy IX, towards the end, there's a sequence where... Fun fact, I've watched studies where they work their way through mazes. That's cool. Again, though, I kind of have to... Not to be an asshole, but I do feel the need to bring up that, like, rats can work their way through a maze. That's not to say rats are, like, brain dead, either. Rats have their own unique intelligence. They are incredibly social. And there's a really odd and frankly horrifying study done with rats. I think it was done in the 30s. Yeah, rats are pretty, like I said, I'm not saying rats are like stupid. I'm saying that, like, I don't know. Maybe a goldfish is smarter than an octopus. Who knows? If an octopus writes me a letter, then I'll sit there and tell you that octopus are like the pinnacle of aquatic intelligence. But until then, I guess I have to concede that, like, maybe a goldfish would be smarter than an octopus. I don't know. I guess the big difference between the two is that an octopus has tentacles to enact its intelligence, whereas a goldfish is pretty much stuck in whatever situation it's put in, because a goldfish does not have the mechanical the mechanical means necessary to solve its problems. It has the mind for it, but, like, if it needs to open a door, it's just kind of fucked. Okay. Well, that was stupid. I'm not arguing that a goldfish is smarter than an octopus. Let me explain, because I think... I'm just saying that they are actually smart. Let me state why I say that, like, maybe I just have to concede that a goldfish is smarter than an octopus. Because I don't think I'm able right this second to really articulate why I think an octopus is, like, necessarily more intelligent than a goldfish. And not because most of the time it's simply because I lack the, like, speaking skills to articulate a point. But this time I think it's just maybe I'm not on the firmest ground here with my point. I don't know. Why are we talking about... I remember why we're talking about octopus. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that fucking coming. So there's a secret. I will. Hopefully, I'll be able to finally finish my fucking story here. I get distracted too easily, and I go off on tangents. I'm sorry. So there's a sequence in Final Fantasy IX where the villain behind the villain in Final Fantasy IX. And yes, I understand just how, like, bizarre and unapproachable and convoluted that makes Final Fantasy IX sound. But it's accurate, sort of, but also not really 100% accurate. I will actually stream Final Fantasy IX at some point. I 100% mean to stream Final Fantasy IX again at some point. Where I don't even think that, now that I think about it, I don't think my Final Fantasy IX stream is still up on YouTube. But, there's a character in Final Fantasy IX who is basically responsible for the primary villain's existence. And he reveals that in much the same way as he created the villain, he also created the protagonist, Zidane. And Zidane is crushed by this news. But despite, and so he kind of mopes for a while. And he gets it in his head that because of where he comes from, and because he is created as an instrument of war, as an instrument of chaos, to sow the seeds of destruction amongst the world, that he's not worth anyone's time. He's not worth anyone's love. I love that sound. And as Zidane goes through this sequence, he is interrupted several times by his friends and comrades, who are all like, yeah, just because that's what you were initially intended for does not mean that that's how we see you, or that that's how you have to be. No matter where you come from, we're here for you. And that moment just kind of, I don't know. That was the exact kind of message I think I needed at that point in my life. Would you... Alright. Healing was more important to me than getting the hits in. Damn it. Shit. And then another thing that, like, and like that was part one of like a real 1-2 punch of changing how I thought about myself at that point in time. And the second one was Tales of the Abyss, which has a pretty similar message, which is it doesn't really matter where you come from, it matters like what kind of person you are afterwards. And I don't know, like I said, it was the exact kind of message I needed at that time. And it has been years and years, and I am the most over it. Time has passed. I've actually met my mom. It's like in Final Fantasy X when Tidus has problems with his parents, but he learns how to be a mature guy. That's what I like about him. Alright. Red Arts, you're probably going to be the only one in the chat who is going to know what the hell I'm talking about. But is it Tidus or Titus? How do you rationalize how it's pronounced in your head? Because I've always kind of imagined it as being Titus, mostly because that sounds cooler to me. But general consensus seems to be Tidus. And I think I've heard that that's how it's pronounced in... I've never played any of the Dissidia games, but I've heard that that's how it's pronounced in the Dissidia games. Titus. Okay. Good to know I'm not the only one. One thing I heard... a joke I heard regarding Jecht and Titus in Final Fantasy X was regarding the official pronunciation. I believe the official pronunciation is Tidus, but it's not. I don't know. And the joke, and something I heard once was, no wonder Jecht's so hard on the kid. No wonder Jecht is so upset. He names his kid a strong He names his kid a strong name like Titus, but then he goes around calling himself Titus. Okay, so we got that down again. Alright, heal up, heal up, heal up. Titus and Dissidia confirmed. Motherfucker. Titus may be confirmed for Dissidia, but you know what I want confirmed? I want Waluigi confirmed. When will the tyranny and oppression stop? And when will Waluigi be confirmed for Dissidia? It's all I want. Please, Konami, give me Waluigi for Dissidia. It kind of makes sense that they never say his name in Final Fantasy X, because you can change his name, or at least the text for his name in Final Fantasy X. It's kind of like oppression will never stop. Wah. Okay, like, seriously, we got Ridley fucking confirmed for Smash. I think next Smash is, I am of two minds regarding Waluigi for Smash. I really am. Because on the one hand, I unironically fucking love Waluigi. He's my second favorite Mario character. Yeah, we got Daisy. If we can get fucking Daisy, why can't we get Waluigi? Anyway, we got fucking I am a little bit of two minds when it comes to Waluigi for Smash. Because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I really do love Waluigi as a character, and I seriously do wish he would show up in Smash Brothers as a playable character. Because, like, the other three Mario Brothers are in the game. And it just kind of doesn't... and, like, I get it. I do kind of get it. Because Waluigi's never had his own game. Mario has had his own game. Obviously Mario's had his own game. He's Nintendo's fucking, because of the feminine. I don't know how we're bringing Pichu into Melee, Pichu back in Melee, for crying out loud. Roy and Marth 2, Waluigi counterpart to Luigi fits. Fucking exactly. On the other hand, I do kind of get Waluigi's Mansion. I do kind of get the idea that, first of all, Waluigi is he's not a character unto himself. He is a foil for Luigi, and he's a foil to Luigi and a companion to Wario. His character does not serve a purpose in being a character unto itself. His character is that he is a foil to Luigi and a companion to Wario. That is his character. That is what Waluigi is in his essence. Also, I kind of feel like the memes are why we don't have Waluigi for Smash. Because, like, I do kind of get it. I kind of get that if I were Sakurai, I'd be like, I put fucking Ridley in this game, and you're not happy because you didn't get this chuckle fuck? Like, what? Waluigi would turn into a joke character because that's what he is in most games, especially Mario Tennis Aces. I mean, yeah, but like, I'm gonna hurt myself. He would feel strange to play. I'm gonna hurt myself and make this argument here. And it's gonna hurt me emotionally. It's really gonna hurt me emotionally. Captain Falcon is basically a joke character at this point. When he was first put into the game, I don't think Captain Falcon was a joke character. Ridley is all the purple you need. He's... Fun fact, I'm wearing a Super Metroid t-shirt right this fucking second. And in that artwork, Ridley is red. Oh, you son of a bitch. Wang. But, like, Captain Falcon is basically a joke character at this point. The only reason Captain Falcon is still in Smash Brothers is because Nintendo knows people would throw a fucking fit if they took Captain Falcon out. Despite the fact that, like, they haven't made an F-Zero game in years. It's been... This boss is doing the high kicks. Yeah, he is. It's been years. It's been more than a decade. When the fuck did F-Zero GX come out? 2002? I think? 2003 at the latest? It's been more than 10 years. If I'm right, it's been more than 15 years since the last F-Zero. Even Metroid didn't get that big a fucking hiatus. I think the longest Metroid hiatus was 8 years between Super Metroid and Metroid Prime. And, like, when you have a longer hiatus than fucking Metroid, then there's just... simply put, there is an issue. There's an issue at hand. If you have a longer... this series has a longer hiatus than fucking Metroid. So, like, and I'm not necessarily partial to F-Zero. I could give a shit less. I am physically incapable of giving a shit less than I already do about F-Zero. But the point still remains. I don't think Nintendo has any intentions of continuing the F-Zero series. I think as far as racing games go, they're going to go all in with Mario Kart, which makes sense. I cannot fault them for that. It makes sense. Plus, like I said, I don't have any fucking attachment to F-Zero. It's a neat game. I did not know it was a game until Smash. Exactly. To be fair, I was exposed to Smash Bros. At a pretty young age. I had the first Smash Brothers when I was like 4. And then the series is over most likely like Half-Life. I believe Crash Bandicoot is going to get into Smash 5 just because the Insane Trilogy is/will be on the Switch. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to sound probably a lot like what people sounded like when they talked about Sonic regarding Super Smash Bros. Brawl. While I would be pleasantly surprised, I don't think Crash Bandicoot is ever going to be in Smash Brothers. And like I said, I would love to be if it did happen, I would be pleasantly surprised. I never ever forever never ever thought Pac-Man would be in Smash. I never thought Bayonetta would be in Smash. I never thought Ryu would be in Smash. And I certainly never thought Cloud would be in Smash. I would say I never thought Snake would be in Smash, but I didn't really know much of anything about Metal Gear until Smash Bros. Brawl. I didn't know it existed until Smash Bros. Brawl. Yeah, Pac-Man's a character in Smash 4. Which I was playing earlier today because I found my cord to charge my gamepad. So I was able to update my Wii U and play fucking Smash Brothers Online. Which, surprisingly, there's still a lot of people playing, and they're all, like, obnoxious top tier. I gotta heal. Anyway, I never thought fucking Pac-Man would get in Smash. There's even, like, Nintendo characters I never thought would get in Smash. I never thought Dr. Mario would be put back into Smash Bros. I never thought Roy would be put back into Smash Bros. But here we are. You said you sucked at fighting games. Smash Bros is different. Smash Bros. Okay, I agree with the statement that Smash Bros is a fighting game and not a party game. But like, we have to acknowledge that Smash Bros is different from other fighting games in several fundamental ways. And I don't think it's I think it's fair to put Smash Bros in a category all on its own, separate from the likes of Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, because it's so different. Yeah, there we go. So, like, yeah, and even so, even if we do put Smash in the same even if we do put Smash in the same corner as Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat, the fact that I suck at fighting games still applies to Smash Bros. Just because I like Smash Bros doesn't mean I'm good at it. Alright, so he's defeated. And we got the city crest. And we got all this money from this chest. Isn't that neat? Finally got his body rolls. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A good player, you're a good player, I'm sure. I'll toot my own horn a little bit. I'm decent at Smash Bros. 4 Glory players are good. Yes, they are. Much better than I am. So I'm generally not the kind of person to get into metagames. But there are things to be said about, like, certain aspects of Smash's metagame. Specifically relating to Smash 4, because I never ever played, because I never fucking played any tournaments in Melee or Brawl. Certainly not the original. Jesus Christ, I think I'd hang myself if I was ever forced to do a tournament for original Smash Bros. Let's rest at this bench. Map updated. Hell yeah. Like, okay, I'd always oh, hold on, we got dialogue here. Oh, what is that creeping out of the darkness? My, you're looking grim. A strange, empty face and a wicked-looking weapon. Something important has drawn you into Hallownest's corpse, but I won't ask what. Perhaps the reason you found me is because you need my help? Say no more, friend. I'm going to give you a gift. A nasty little spell of my own creation. It's just perfect for a little one like you. And of course, he gives us a spell. And it knocks us unconscious. Consumed the vengeful spirit. Tap B to unleash a spirit. Spells will deplete soul. Replenish soul by striking enemies. So of course we wake up and oh, you've woken at last. I apologize. Perhaps I should have warned you about the power of that spell. I was watching over you as you slept, but you seem to have slipped but seem to have slipped away myself. Now that you're awake, I was wondering whether you could do me a small favor. Not as repayment for my gift, of course. Simply because we're now friends. See, a horrid great beast has made its home in the heart of this temple. Such disrespect! I would be quite grateful if you were to venture deeper in and slay it for me. It's a hardy creature, but with your new power, you're more than a match for it. Good luck with this small favor, my friend. Want to watch you playing Smash 4 one day. Sure. I would love to do I would love to do For Glory on stream one day, but the problem with that is, whenever this does not happen, this generally doesn't happen with any other fucking game. But with Smash 4, it happens constant, but like, anytime I go online with Smash 4, my connection tanks harder than Tiananmen Square. Like, it's bad. I don't know what happens. I get like I get 1 frame every 3 seconds. It's ridiculous. So, if I was to do Smash and it not just be like, well, hey guys, check out me beating the shit out of this AI player, I'd have to have a buddy over. So, there's that. But, like, I would love to. But even more, I'd love to play Smash Ultimate on stream once that comes out. Because through a kind and generous donation, I will soon be the proud owner of a capture card. And so, I will be able to do console games. And the prospect excites me. Because I have a lot of cool console games that I would love to stream. I just am unable to do so. Alright. So here we're presented with an enemy that we kinda have to use spells for. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking... Wow. 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 I would learn the heck out of Zelda, not Sheik on Ultimate. I cannot fucking tell you how happy I am that we're going with the Link Between Worlds design for Zelda. Because we've gone with... Because, like, we went with Ocarina of Time Zelda for Melee. Because, of course, we did. And we went with Twilight Princess Zelda for both Brawl and Smash 4. Which is really just Zelda... Which is really just Ocarina of Time Zelda. Let's not kid ourselves. Zelda's design in Twilight Princess is not different enough to like, her design in Twilight Princess is not really that fucking different from her Ocarina of Time design. However, her Link Between Worlds design is delightful and adorable. So I definitely see where you're coming from when you're saying you would learn the heck out of Zelda. Because I would love to learn how to play such an adorable character. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. Oh. Well, there goes fucking 500 Geo. I didn't even learn Melee Zelda. I never liked Zelda in Smash. When I say that, I don't mean I don't like the fact that Zelda is in Smash. I'm just saying I never liked playing Zelda. I'll be the best Zelda main in Brazil. You live that dream, my friend. You live that dream. Meanwhile, I will continue to be a mediocre, I'll continue to be a mediocre Bayonetta main. Also, I learned pretty hard. I learned the hard way Oh boy. You don't play a game for you don't play, if you go 2 years without playing Smash, you want to talk about skill atrophy? Oh, man. So, like, even... And I will be the first to fucking acknowledge that Bayonetta is a pretty fucking cheap character. Oh my god. Do I just need to go to bed? If I can beat the False Knight, but I can't fucking beat this piddly little area here. All because of some fucking roly-polies. But anyway, so my little nugget of my biggest takeaway from the Smash meta is that I feel like people overhype Fox. Like something I've noticed regarding, and I would love to get much more. Smash Bros is like the one fighting game I would absolutely love to get into, like, hardcore. Which is funny because I feel like Smash Bros is the least tailored to the hardcore, but whatever. Okay. Bayo, just SDI. Like, okay, I like Bayonetta. Must be using Power Trick. But, like, okay, so one thing I've noticed regarding, like, Smash culture is that, like, Fox mains are considered to be, like, oh, if you main Fox, that's probably going to put you in the top tier. But oh, my sweet summer child. I can, at the top of my game, back when I was actually good at Smash Bros, I could beat most Fox mains on For Glory. It wasn't easy, but I could do it. However, and I don't know if this is because this character I'm about to talk about is a natural foil for Corrin and Bayonetta, or if I'm just a personal foil for the way I play Smash Bros, or even just a fact of, or even just like a statement of this character is weird, and this character is like fucking weird, and the people who main it are insane and really fucking frustrating to fight. Motherfucking Mario. Like I said, I don't know if Mario is like a natural foil against Bayonetta, because like a low tier character can win any fight on any fighting game. Well, like, I know that, but like, I'm gonna pause because my eyebrow itches. Tier lists on fighting games. Nah, low tier character can win any fight on any fighting game. I can see where you're coming from. But, and like I said, it may just be my playstyle, or maybe it may just be my personal playstyle. It may just be that Mario is a natural foil to the characters I like to play, which are Corrin, Cloud, and Bayonetta mostly. Used to be an Ike main, but then the DLC came out. Poor Ike never stood a chance. Once Smash Ultimate comes out, I may go back to Ike. I may go back to my homeland. For example, on Darkstalkers, where I play Ankaris, the worst character, I don't have a frame of reference, so I'm just gonna have to take your word for it. Well, I mean, it's... I mean, I guess I kind of have a frame of reference because, like, I imagine if he's, like, the quote-unquote worst character, then I imagine he's something along the lines of Dan from Street Fighter, yeah? Where he's more there as a joke than anything. And all of his everything is just objectively the worst. There's a lot of low tier mains on Darkstalkers. I can't help but feel like that's a sign of a healthy fighting game. God fucking damn it. I didn't even get my spirit this time. Or shade? Shadow? Spirit? I don't remember the exact word. As soon as I get out of this little loop, I'm done for the night because I'm bushed. I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. Yeah, worse than being tired, I'm sleepy. But yeah, I feel like that is a pretty good sign of a healthy fighting game. Or a healthy meta. A Japanese player named Kaiji? Kaiji? I'm too far away from the screen. I can't tell if that's Kaji or Kaiji. Which uses Lilith. She is bad. And went against a lot of top tiers in the bracket. Like I said, I feel like that's a sign of a good fighting game. Where, yes, there is a tier... Where, yes, you can put together a tier list. But anyone good enough... anyone good enough at the game can beat anyone else with these quote-unquote low-tier characters. I saw some North American players using low tiers too. Mighty Moore and DR. You can search for them if you want to. My phone's across the room. I don't feel like getting up to get it. I'll probably look them up after the stream if I remember. God damn it. Cause like I would forget to breathe if it wasn't like an involuntary thing. That was... So one fun fact about the... I'm gonna call it a shadow. I'm pretty sure the game calls it a shadow. So, with one neat thing about the shadow is that, like, the more health you have, the more health it has. There we go. The you'd be dead. I really have no idea what you're referencing, Ryan. Because you need to breathe. Yes, Ingot the band BAME in an actual sentence. Then. Are you posting edgy song lyrics in my chat? Is that what's happening here? God fucking damn it. No. Okay. Because I am a special needs child, gently remind me what you're referencing. Because if it's in reference to something I was talking about, I have completely forgotten. Because, like I said, I'm forgetful in the first place. B, I'm tired. So, after coming off Digimon World yesterday, Oh, just that you would forget to breathe. Oh. Okay. Like I said, I would okay. Well, see, there we go. Now we're, so it's, go to bed, dum-dum. Oh. I will as soon as I beat this fucking dude. He's not a boss, he's just a dude. Stop fucking rolling into me. Need to Breathe is a band name. Regarding low tiers, I even saw a VGC Pokemon tournament where the guy used Jumpluff and was pretty successful with it. I can't help but feel like a lot of selective breed. That will be never. Don't be an asshole. Be nice to me. Don't be like Dave. Don't be like Dave, where I just silently resent you because I'm too nice to talk shit about him on stream when he's on the stream. Be nice to me, please. Anyway. I feel like with Pokemon you can get around the tier list with really good breeding, really smart move selections, but I am an asshole. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Guess you oh dear, I am though. But yeah, I feel like with Pokemon the tier list can be worked around. If you put in like the right kind of effort. Not the right amount of effort, but like the right kind of effort. Like if you know more or less what to do. What you need to do to get around the meta. Or the tier list. Because I'm sure someone can win a turn. Because I am 100% sure. Given the right time and the right moveset and the right natures and all that, I am pretty sure someone can win a tournament with fucking Beedrill. There we go. Oh, right. I was talking about, so, coming off of Digimon World and Digimon World 2, I've really come to appreciate when games use different sound effects for your footprints depending on what you're walking on. It's very nice. Alright, there we go. Come on. Yeah! Beedrill! Like I said, I'm sure with the right natures and the right moves and the right everything, you could win a tournament with Beedrill. I feel like you also have to be lucky, though. Because, like, I feel like what makes top tier isn't how, like, viable it is, but just how many foils there are to it. You know what I mean? Like, there are far fewer foils for, say, damn it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'll beat him tomorrow when I'm more, awake, lucid. But yeah, regarding tier lists, I feel like with Pokemon, the tier list is there less as a way of saying what Pokemon against a real player. I don't think Beedrill can stand a chance without its Mega Evolution. But with the Mega Evolution, it would still stand a chance, and it's still Beedrill. I mean, like I said, I feel like at least with Pokemon, and I am completely fair warning, I'm completely talking out of my ass. 9 times out of 10, I do not play games competitively. The only game I've really ever played competitively was Smash 4. And that was because it was super easy to play competitively in Smash 4. I'm not saying it was easy to win. I'm just saying it was easy to play it competitively. There were far less hoops to go through to play Smash 4 competitively than really anything else I had at my disposal. But something I feel it sounds about right with Pokemon is that, like, the tier list is there less as a, these Pokemon are objectively better than these other Pokemon, and more, these Pokemon simply have more or less foils against, more or fewer, foils against them. Like, yeah, a good player is gonna have, like, you know what, actually, now that I think about it, I think if a Pokemon has more foils against it, then it would be worse. You could play Clash Royale competitively. Buddy, friend, I fucking hate mobile games. I think that a lot of them are shitty. I think the vast majority of them are shitty. And I think the golden few that aren't shitty are cash grabs. And sometimes I think a game rides that line where it's like a pretty decent game and also not a cash grab, but that doesn't make it the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Doesn't make it the Hannah Montana theme song. I predicted the answer, heck yeah. Like, okay, here's the thing. I have a long fucking... I could go on a long tirade about mobile games, but it would really end up being 3 points. One, mobile games are very rarely... very rarely do I feel like a mobile game is ever worth my time. The only mobile game I ever put any real time into is Miitomo. And that's not even really a game. It's more just a fun little app doodad. Two, mobile game-ness can ruin good games. Fire Emblem Heroes is a perfect example. That game has just enough mobile game trappings to make me hate it and not want to play it anymore, so I don't. I've never played Clash of Clans, so I can't verify that. Fallout Shelter. Same thing as Fire Emblem Heroes, honestly, in that it's not so much the worst of both worlds, it's just the mobile game-ness of Fallout Shelter made me feel like I might as well be playing something else, and that surely there was a better version of this experience somewhere else. And thankfully Fallout Shelter is free, so I wasn't ever too worried about how that one went. I just don't like it. Okay, I'm gonna turn the mic off now, and I'm gonna end the stream. But before I do that, like I said, big question for everyone in the audience who watches this or is watching now. Let me know in the comments. Tell me a story about a time a game or a movie or anything like that personally touched you and changed your life. Hopefully for the positive. But I guess if you had a crippling Sims addiction and it ruined your life, I guess that counts too. Yeah, it's over here soon because I'm starting to lose my voice. I can feel it. I was a fool and did not give my voice proper time to rest since last stream. SAO. Okay. Okay, you know what? You can't talk about Sword Art Online. Good, bad, and different. You can't talk about Sword Art Online. I'm kidding. if you feel like Sword Art Online had a substantial enough impact on your life, then sure. Oh, Red Arts, don't worry. Ryan is 100% in agreement with you on the JoJo is better than SAO front, because SAO, and I'm sure this is the case for a lot of people. I'm not saying I'm special, but SAO has become kind of a punching bag. It's become a punching bag. It's become the butt of a lot of jokes in my immediate friend group, which I think is hilarious. And, I lost my train of thought. Alright, like I said, I'm gonna cut the stream. Because if I sit here too much longer, what's gonna happen if I sit here too much longer is I'm gonna sit here and ramble for like 6 hours. SAO is getting Dorara. I don't... Just tell me what that means. Sad day, there's no butt emoji. There may not be a butt emoji, but there sure is a poop face emoji. Where is it? Where's the poop emoji? Shabam! There's the poop emoji. I don't think we're quite to aluminum bananas yet. But anyway... I'm getting the fuck out of here because I'm gonna ramble on. I'm either gonna ramble on for 6 hours or I'm gonna fall asleep on stream, and then I'll have like 8 hours to cut or longer. So I'm gonna catch you dudes later. Any future questions, leave for me in the comments of the archive or whatever. Ryan, you know how to get a hold of me personally, so fuck it. I don't care. Also, yes, the peach is like a butt. Anyway, good night, everyone.